And we're they can hear me? Oh. Hello, people. I've taken over this podcast, and I
Eh,
am now the owner.
no, you're not. We are back. I got my mic unmuted there. Apparently, I didn't mute Discord. That's a first. Usually, Discord's the one muted, not me. We're back. Spear is here. We're here to review another episode of Rurouni Kenshin, episode 10 of season 2. Uh, again, another one of these episodes that says a lot, but also doesn't say a lot. This pretty much was just like us seeing what happened to Kenshin right after he got the sword from the original swordsmith that made the Sakabata. Um, I gotta admit, this episode, I wasn't anticipating Kenshin to not know that's what he was holding when he got that sword from him. But I guess it makes sense. Like, what would make him think that the guy gave him a reverse blade? Because he apparently didn't ask for it. I thought that was intriguing. Any thoughts, concerns, questions?
Why do you do that to me?
Do what?
You're like, blah, 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 blah. You speak now.
I had
You
to
put
stop
me on.
myself. If I don't, that's my way of stopping myself.
That's your way of stopping yourself.
Yes.
You go on rampages sometimes.
I don't mean to. It just happens.
Yeah.
Thoughts, questions, concerns?
Not yet.
Oh, wait,
You've been,
you don't have any thoughts, like, questions, or concerns?
should I?
I don't know. Thought normally at this point you would.
I'm sorry. I was only partially paying attention. I feel bad now.
He was chewing me out.
Well, you can chew me out too if you want.
You sometimes feel like we're like radio hosts for some reason, just snapping at each other, and
Yeah.
in a radio show that means absolutely nothing to anybody listening to it right now.
There's one loyal fan in Brazil that I do this solely for that fan.
We were to find out this person wasn't really real, and they're just a dead person that somehow got a hold of an internet subscription.
Yeah, that would be it. I'd probably stop the podcast.
Hmm.
But then there's Red Avenger, so I don't know.
Was Nature Avenger? There are
Nature
they.
Avenger.
Oh, that's right. You don't know about that. I have to. Well, I guess it really doesn't really matter. But they're going by Nature Avenger now.
Is
And
there a reason for that?
I don't know. They just changed their name. As you can tell, I'm using the word they, because that's how they want to be referred to. We'll go into more information like that because they will reveal kind of the reasons in Discord, in their Discord, underneath Jim.
So
It's not a big deal.
can you sum up about can you sum up what you said so I can have something to say about it?
No, I mean, all I really said was like this episode is a lot of nothing and a lot of something at the same time. Really, this episode is basically just purely about what happened to Kenshin after he got the sword, like right after he got the sword. And I just said I thought it was interesting that Kenshin one didn't know that the sword was a reverse sword, but then I also backtracked on that, saying I don't know, there's no real reason why he would know it was a reverse sword, and it's not like he asked for the sword; he just kind of got chucked the sword, so he didn't know what was in there. He, based on everything that he was doing, and his conniption that he was having during the episode about like drawing another blade, it's pretty clear that he did not know what was inside the scabbard until he drew the sword. I just thought it was interesting that it's made clear that he did not know that it was a reverse blade, and I don't think the name. Well, I guess no, it had to be. I got the idea that he named the sword as Sakabara, but then again, now thinking about it, that's not the case because everybody else knows the name of that sword.
Yeah, it's common knowledge is an obscure sword.
But I was like, I feel like it almost seemed like the way he talked about it, it just seemed like he named it. I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood or misinterpreted the translation there. But again, like I understand, like there's no way because like everybody else knows the name of that blade, so that is not something he named. Because if he named it, nobody would know what the name of that sword is. Uh, hmm. But yeah, I don't know. But basically, someone is like, It's kind of interesting that it's made pretty clear that he did not know that sword was a reverse blade before he drew it when he
And it
first
seems
got
like
it.
it seems like it was given to him as a joke.
No, I don't think that was the intent of that sword maker. Um,
The sword maker, the guy that gave it to him.
yeah, I don't think that was the intent of him. But then again, maybe I don't know. I didn't really take it as a joke. I just thought, I interpreted what that guy said as like, um, it's naive to think that you can just take so many lives and then put down a sword and pretend to be a normal person again. When in reality, you can never go back to that life. I'm gonna give you this sword as a way to continue what you've been doing, but doing it without killing anybody. It was a really. I guess you could take it as a joke, but I don't know why. Here's the thing, though. I mean, that I have a problem with that because if it's a joke, why make two the same? Why make two swords and make one weaker than the other? Something about that doesn't make a lot of sense. If it's a joke,
First of all, he made two and then declared the better of the two the master sword. So it wasn't that he made one intentionally to be weaker than the other. It's just one of them was weaker. You made two swords. The
I
second
think he
thing is
made
that
one
he was not,
intentionally weaker. Sorry, but
second thing is I don't think that guy was the maker of the swords, was he?
no, he was.
That was the original forger of the swords. That wasn't just a war buddy of his.
Yeah, he literally said that he made that sword.
Oh, interesting. Maybe he gave him the weaker of the two swords because it was free. I don't know.
Get out of here, dashing tambourine. We don't need it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, cause he gave him a sword. Like, he literally approached Kenshin as he was leaving. Cause like Kenshin gave him the blade that he was using back when he was, the manslayer.
Oh, see, I thought that guy was a friend of his. I got confused then. I thought it was like one of his war buddies or something, giving a parting gift to him.
Just won over at Toba Fushima. Battle just
They just
begun.
won over it. So, like, if they won, it's not a blacksmith that doesn't win a battle.
The Imperial Restoration hasn't happened yet. How selfish you are. So basically, I didn't get this. I think Kenshin must have helped them win, and then after they won, he put down his sword.
Right.
On top of that, where the hell do you think you're going without your sword?
This doesn't sound like a blacksmith to me.
How's a blacksmith supposed to sound?
Not like where the hell do you think you're going without your sword? And why would
I
Kenshin be
haven't been
leaving?
pardoned by Master Katsura, Mr. Shaku. Shaku was the one who made him the sword. He called that guy Shaku.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, Shaku was the guy who made him that sword. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn that because that's the son, the guy who you see that he saved, isn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't even. No, that's him. Yeah, that's him. That's Shaku, the guy who made him a sword. He's a blacksmith. I don't know who Katsura is. He was pardoned by him, so pardoning. That's kind of funny considering where we are in today's history. From now on, I want to slay men, search for a path to protect the people living in the new era. What I know about why Kenshin shifted to doing that, it's kind of interesting. I still don't completely understand it 100%. Just know the outline of what happened.
That blacksmith died at a pretty young age. He doesn't look that old.
What age was he supposed to have died at?
I don't know, old age. I'm not going to give you an exact age, like 37 and a half or something, but like he doesn't look all that old.
You slaying so many men, they'll go running off now. The best sword, die by the sword. I don't know, he's got like creases on his face like he's old.
I don't know. He's not drawn the way the animes draw old people.
I mean, I don't think he's supposed to be like old, like, cane walking. I think he's just old enough.
Not old enough to die of old age. Joel, do you want me to say it again for the ones in the back? Joel?
Did he actually die of old age?
Um,
It's a failure, but it should be more than enough for you who you
I
are
don't know, but
now.
that could be an interesting thing we find out later.
You said it was a failure. I don't know. None of that really seems like is a joke. I mean, I guess other than this statement, for starters, try being sort of with that around your legs. I guess that could be mean more of a joke, but I don't know why he would give. Because I guess in general, is like he doesn't know how. Well, I guess he would know how skilled Kenshin is, but even still, even a skill sword still needs an actual sword to defend themselves. I don't think he would think Kenshin would be, because you think that would be a death sentence. You think he even tells him to come back when that sword breaks, as if he's expecting Kenshin to use that sword and then for it to break at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
A joke gift would be something that's gonna kill him with it. Like he'll die while trying to use it.
Maybe he made that one out of his. Maybe he didn't make two swords in the same way though. Maybe he made the first one for Kenshin, or maybe he made the first one out of like a desire to become more peaceful, and then he gave it to Kenshin because he found a suitable person for it. Because he didn't forge it overnight, and then so he made it without a person in mind for it. Then if he said come back when it breaks, then he probably like really put his heart and soul in the second one and made it his last sword, inspired by Kenshin.
Oh, because he named it after his grandson. And
So
on top of that, they said that swordsmiths make two blades and they sell one, but then they keep one that's a little bit more refined for shrine gifting. To me, is like that seems like, I mean, if those two swords are made differently, that means there's a third Sabato running around somewhere. Because I mean, if they said that he made two, then there's a third one running around somewhere.
why?
If he made two, and he gave one as like a offering to the gods, and like one of them is spent for the gods, while one is being sold. If you're saying that the sword that Kenshin had isn't actually of a pair, but they said that that they normally make two of a blade and they sell one, but they keep one for an offering. That means there's a third sword. Because the one that Kenshin's got now has got to be of a pair, based on
Yeah.
what Shaku's son is saying.
So they just took it from the god and casually gave it to Kenshin.
It's possible that, and you're probably not wrong 100%. Maybe what's really going on is that these two were made of a pair, but maybe when Shaku was making the first blade that he gave to Kenshin, because he was trying to teach Kenshin a lesson, um, he made it, and he was in the process of making. He probably made a mistake somewhere, because it's possible that regardless of him being a master swordsmith, he's capable of making mistakes. Um, when he realized that there was imperfection with the main sword that he made, he then made the next one. I guess, as you say, with Kenshin in mind, I'm guessing based off of that information he gave him about coming back, to get the other sword. Because it doesn't sound like, based on that, and based on it fitting Kenshin's hand, it doesn't sound like he ever intended to offer that as a gift, as an offering, because his son wanted to get rid of it because he didn't know what kind of sword it was, and had no reason to believe that it was a reverse blade. I'm noticing that the whole idea of reverse blades are definitely really rare, and nobody ever thinks that they exist. Because even Kenshin, when he drew the sword for the first time, didn't realize that it was a reverse blade till he drew it,
Yeah,
and then had
both
an.
times.
Hmm?
Both times.
Oh yeah, yeah, both times when he was younger and then he's older. And actually, both times had a conniption about trying to keep his, trying not to kill anymore, and he didn't want to draw the sword.
Yeah, it was like the same story twice.
Yeah, I think I noticed that too. It was really interesting, like how Shaku's son and wife now have a son. But he also met, I wonder if those two people, the ones that he met earlier in his life, are still around. Because like by now, their son would have to be at least a toddler, maybe a bit older. I want to say when Kenshin met them, he must have been 18 because he had already been fighting in the Revolutionary War by that time. And he had already been fighting since he was 13. So he was exiting. He had to have been way older by that point. Either way, this was an interesting episode in general. Where, we get just to see a little bit of it. I mean, I guess, did we really need that information? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we're going to see those characters again. Who knows?
It was nice to see some backstory about Ren when he was just starting out. It's
That,
not the first time we've had a little backstory play in.
well,
We had the
really
other
good.
time. We had the other time when they made him tell a story. Remember? And he told the story about basically what he did right before he met them.
Yeah, I mean, we tell him when he was beginning as a Rurouni. I was gonna say that's not really when he. That's not the story when he first starting out. But yeah, that is when he started becoming a wanderer.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't know why I thought you were saying about him being a Takari. That's totally different.
No, it is when he started out because we're referring to Kenshin. Hitori Bakuse or whatever is like a completely different personality. It's almost like he has a split personality.
I'm glad you said that because I think that's actually what they're trying to do here with him and like, because basically up to this point, I think I can freely discuss this now. 'Cause I think it's already made clear. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm just gonna say what, like, up to this point. When Kenshin first got introduced to us, he was a simple dude who was meant to be goofy for the most part, but like had hidden wisdom within his brain that sometimes would slip out. Um, and a lot of times he spent most of his time wandering around, never staying in one place more than a few days. Uh, so I guess he can keep moving and keep seeing the world because that was his goal, is to see the world as it's changing. But then he settled down and met a girl. They ended up falling in love with her. She ended up falling in love with him, and she got in danger. And in his attempt to try to save her, because he's not utilizing all his strength, which is made pretty clear here by a lot of characters. The guy who died early on, who kidnapped Kaoru, saying that they wanted for Kenshin to survive at anything in the future, he needed to revert back to who he was. And this is the constant theme with this show, is that he is showing that he's a lot weaker when he's just trying to be a nice guy. When he's not trying to cause too much trouble. But he usually spends most of the time in that persona. He only slips up when he's like in a real serious fight. Like a real serious fight where he ends up needing to actually become a little more serious. And we see that a couple times now to this point. With that dude early on in the show, I forgot his name. The first guy the guy that they fought who kidnapped her. And then Saito shows up, he slips up again, and he stays in that personality a lot longer. this time, and I forgot what like causes him to come out because the first time it was Kaoru who got him to come out.
Yeah,
Um, but this time I don't think anybody got him to come out. But I don't even think Kaoru was able to get him out if she did talk to him when he was still in Hitakari mode. Um, or seeing that like it's becoming a little bit more, it's becoming a lot easier for him to slip back in and out of that. But it's starting to look like maybe we're getting to a point where we're gonna get to a point maybe. I don't really know, but we're gonna get to a point that he may not be able to slip in and out of that mode. I'm not gonna call it a form because it's not a form, but he's not gonna be able to slip out of that mode so easily. He might be able to slip into it so much easier at some point, but he probably won't be able to come out of it too easily.
yeah,
It takes people being put in danger for him to slip into it. And I think a good like indicator of like how far Kitchen's come from who he was when he first drew the sword. The episode we just saw, when he drew the sword, he literally had a moment where he saw himself when he was the Hatakari looking back at him with the sword that he used to use with the sharp side out and the blunt side in. He had a hot minute there where he was like looking at himself, and he made the decision to do what he was going to do.
yeah. It's as close as you can get without going all the way over. He
So
was like in mid transformation.
so we're seeing moments within the show, which is like a reason why I like Kenshin as a character is because of this. I said before, like a lot of times we don't have main characters that have a dark side, or if they do, it's a dark side brought out, not a dark side that they passively indulged in for a while there. But yeah, characters like Kenshin or Vash, he introduced to me 2 years ago, who had it's also going on where he had a dark past that he just didn't want to talk about, but it's coming back to chase him. It's happening here for Kenshin. People who he knew are coming back to get him because they want to fight the guy who's the manslayer. But Kenshin wants nothing to do with it. Unfortunately, they don't care.
Yeah.
But it's one of those situations where it's probably not as deep as Bash in that sense, but like that's the part of the reason why I like this show and I like Kenshin in general. They have that thing where it's like split personality literally going on.
Plus, this episode had cats.
Yeah, a lot of cats. I guess you were pretty happy about this. I was happily thinking about you when I saw the episode. Like, I'm almost certain that Jesse and Jock are squeeing right now at the screen.
Jesse doesn't watch them with me, but I got a kick out of the fact that she has 9 cats.
Did she have 9 cats, or did she have 9 cats before Kenshin brought the one that was with him along?
She had 8, and then she adopted a 9th one.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was like, okay, I don't know, like, I know Kenshin brought a cat with him because the cat wouldn't leave him alone.
There's a scene where she puts them all in the bed with Kenshin, and I counted them up.
Of course you did.
I wanted to see if they beat my number.
Did they?
Yeah, I only have 5.
Is that post?
That would have been 6.
Okay.
Zoe was 6.
Again, sorry about your loss. I know you had to put her down because she was sick, but
That's all right. I'm still getting used to saying I have 5.
I mean, you gotta fix that.
No, I don't want another one.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather have like 4.
Um,
I don't want to lose any of the ones I have or anything, but like 5 is still too many. When we lose the next one, we probably won't replace them either.
someone Ollie had to walk in at the moment you said that.
No, I've got Joel sleeping in my arms. Ollie doesn't like to be stuck in rooms with closed doors. So I close the doors so that the light from my room and the podcast voice doesn't get into the bedroom where Jesse's sleeping. So Joel doesn't mind closed doors, and sometimes he comes into the podcast with me and is my co-host.
Yeah.
He's
Wait.
purring loudly and curled up in my arms.
I thought he was asleep. Oh,
What?
I thought he was asleep. He's
No,
purring. He's awake.
you offended him apparently.
Wait, he heard me?
I, he stood up when I was talking about him.
It's mostly because you were talking about him then.
Well, you were talking about him.
No, you were talking about him first. I'm just.
Why do you gotta offend my poor cat? What did he ever do to you? Now he's biting on my thumb.
That's your fault.
It's not my fault. It's your fault.
What's your fault? Um, at the end of the episode, Kenshin puts a sword, saying, he'll subject gladly. Again, this episode wasn't really. It was kind of a lot of nothing, but also a lot of something. It basically was just Kenshin's backstory with the sword and how he ended up where he is.
Yeah.
It's interesting how he ended up leaving Kyoto with the intention of never coming back, and ended up having to come back because his blade broke. He still hasn't met Cairo in the game though, because they're in the same town. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ayoshi's here too. I completely forgot that he's walking around. Oh, he's walking around for flowers. Um. Oh yeah.
Kyle will eventually.
Hmm?
Kyle will find him when it's convenient for the plot. I don't
Yeah, I
think.
mean, I'm aware. I just when I saw what was happening, I got very upset again. Like, I recognize what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's the old. I'm gonna be in the building while Kenshin's walking around, but I'm gonna be outside when he's in the building. It's like
Uh-huh.
again, '90s anime. Gotta remember this is a '90s show. Uh, '90s early 2000s. Oh yeah, Shishio is over in a cave training with his concubine, basically in the cave.
Training, quote unquote.
Hey, listen, sometimes hot baths are training enough.
Mm. They're in the cave together. Quote air quotes. Training.
Oh, they're training, all right. He's just training to give her a son. I
I'm just saying her pelvic muscles must be getting pretty strong.
mean, wouldn't you? I mean, like, have you seen her? That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say is like, have you seen her?
Her pelvic muscles must be able to lift like 500 pounds with all the training they
I,
do.
I love the answers to some questions though. As soon as over here, some people are like, are you a boob or a butt man? It's like, have you seen my wife? I love that. I love that response. It's like yeah, that kind of explains everything. Like you just like, have you seen her? Like it answers your question right there. I can imagine you saying that to somebody asking you that question. Like, have you seen Jess? Like, but I guess that's it.
Do you know Jess has lost 95 pounds?
No, I didn't. Trying
She's
to
been
lose.
dieting for the last few months.
Answers my question before I could even ask it. Was she been trying to lose weight? I didn't know she was trying to.
Yeah, she's trying to lose weight. She didn't lose it by accident. We're not looking for it. We don't want it back. Starting to get really thin. She puts her clothes on and they're like baggy on her. Like really baggy.
Hmm.
Like I can see her down her shirt when she bends over baggy, which is really cool. It's not perverted if it's your wife.
I'm sorry. The quick retort with the it's not perverted, it's your wife. Just the quick retort. It was so snappy. I hadn't get a chance to say anything. I had raised my finger in the air. It was about the point. It was about the point at the screen, and you said that. Just like
I was on top of it.
I was like, what the heck? I don't even know what I even had to say. If it was even any, I don't think it was good at all. So I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna forget about it. Like, okay, well, I have it for you and Jess. Now you're trying to lose weight too, so I guess that's it. I guess a reason to I guess try to do that more. I had no idea. I mean, weight loss is good for everybody. Guess with that, I think that's in like everything I want to say. Unless you have something to say about or any Kenshin. I don't really got much more to say. I guess we can because we we do this every week now. Apparently, we talk about Dragon Ball Daima.
Oh, hang on, I didn't mute. I'm glancing through the thing really quick to see if there's anything I missed saying.
Okay.
I really like the married couple he ended up with. He seems to end up with really good people, and then ruin their lives when someone tries to kill them.
Well, it's not on purpose.
What?
It's not on purpose. It just trouble just follows him,
Yeah.
like Goku from Dragon Ball.
I guess in this case, he didn't do anything to ruin their lives. They didn't even know he was there. When they found out he was there, they respected him so much that they left.
Are you talking about the gang that jumped the? Oh, yeah.
The split personality thing is like really interesting. It's 1630s because like there he is literally facing himself with the opposite blade.
I mean, yes, but I think I even brought that up. Like, you see that at the very beginning of it all when he pulls the blade out.
Yeah.
The show does a really good job at showing you whenever what Kenshin we're dealing with the eyes. It's an interesting little like detail that I noticed that I don't know who's animating this, but they're really on spot with the eyes. Like the eyes easily tell you what Kenshin we're dealing with. Like it's not a transformation, but it's the closest to a transformation we'll get in this show. But it's like you can definitely tell which Kenshin we're dealing with. Also, I thought at first
Do you
when
think there's any? Sorry to cut you off. Do you think there's any meaning between the scene at like 1554 or so, and the scene at 2004, and the fact that they stand at the same spot with a sun in the background and a red sky? It's the exact same like color pose.
he's comparing Shaku's children to the married couple he met before. No correction, he's comparing Shaku and his family to the married couple he had met years ago. He just sees them as the same. I mean, you already mentioned this before, but like he just sees them as the same people, kind of like kindred spirits. He met the same married couple years down the road, um, but in a different scenario, in a different situation.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much you said everything. Like it's pretty much like a almost shot to shot version of what happened to him years ago. Probably why he was remembering it so much.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, even though Kenshin back in the past was kind of having his own issues with trying to draw a sword again, he didn't like the um current Kenshin had way more trouble trying to pull the sword than past Kenshin did. Because it wasn't like it wasn't like past Kenshin was dealing with the whole idea of using a sharp blade.
Mhm.
That wasn't in his mind. He was just trying to gather whether it was right to kill somebody again.
Why do you think they showed the same hydrangeas like 5 times?
Uh, Rehydrators have
They
a
did like scene cuts with hydrangeas, which they never do anything like that in any of the other episodes.
look up in Japanese culture. Hydrangeas or ajisai have multiple meanings, including heartfelt emotion. Japanese legend tells of an emperor who gave hydrangeas to the family of women who he loved, women he loved to express his feelings and apologize for affecting her. Gratitude. Hydrangeas can symbolize gratitude and understanding for somebody. That's a good explanation for it. They can represent an apology. Hydrangeas bloom most vibrantly during the Japanese rainy season, which is from June to early July. Uh, Fickle heart symbolize a fickle or changeable heart. Another good explanation,
Yeah.
tension there. And also the guy that he ended up talking down from being an imperialist. That was a split personality there, right there.
It's just an interesting little like segue. I had a feeling it had Japanese significance, but like they kept showing it over and over and over again. I'm like, what's with this like constant hydrangea shot?
That's probably what it was for. Was it blue?
I think one was like, I think they were all different colors.
I mean,
Because
there's like,
you can see hydrangeas in the background of a lot of the scenes when they're around the house too. Like in the
well,
scene I'm looking at right now, I can see pink, blue, and white.
is that during the scene where the wife and the husband are talking to each other and having a moment?
8:39.
That's like, is that what they're doing?
I don't know. I'm looking at a still of it, but it's at 8:39 if you want to watch it.
I said, I mean, the pink symbolizes romance, true feelings, and harmony. I was just trying to figure out if that's what it was. I mean, you said white too, which also symbolizes purity and grace. Again, another one of those. It's definitely Japanese meaning what they're
Yeah.
doing that for.
They show the hydrangeas in the background through almost the whole episode, like when they're at the house. They fit into a lot of scenes. And really prominently, like if you look at 12:19, there's hydrangeas taking up like a third of the screen. I said 12:13.
Oh shoot. Hmm.
See? They're taking up a huge portion of the screen and in the foreground. It's really easy to miss when you're watching the episode because you're focused on the plot, but there's hydrangeas everywhere in this episode.
Okay, these guys are waiting to get revenge, so it can symbolize patience as well.
Yeah, just really drive them home. It's just something I noticed.
Also, I like that. It's not even just with the split personality thing that happens for the first time. I'm guessing it's happening here for the very first time. Um, just to notice, there's a definitely difference with Kenshin's hair. Cause like when he's Hitakari, it's pretty straight and going down his back, but here it's though I'm pretty sure that's just the girl who did that to his hair, but I like that it's kind of still representative of like him being serene, peaceful, this guy being aggressive,
Yeah, and
and
then I have one
also
other. Go ahead.
his pants over here as Hitakari are ruffled too. If you actually look at it, there's actually some visual differences here. I'm just not noticing.
Yeah,
You have something to say?
yeah. The other thing I want to mention is that I'm curious when this like little additional hero that they introduced in this episode, another one that's easy to overlook. You can find them around 7:20 or so. 7:19, maybe seven, maybe just cut back a few more seconds. 7:14 maybe, and then just play from there. Yeah, that one.
Oh, the flowers here.
No, the snail. The snail scares the fuck out of that cat when it tries to pounce on him. Cat runs off. That's a pretty heroic snail. I want to see when he joins their group.
But the cat or the snail?
The snail. The cat doesn't have courage or potential. The snail does.
I don't. I feel there's a joke here, but it's like I don't really. I don't know who that could be representing because there's nobody.
No, I just think that the snail like probably like should join Kenshin's team since it's so powerful.
There's a joke there. I'm just gonna ignore it. Let
It's
you have
acting
your
like a
fun.
wandering samurai, alone and like walking peacefully through the village when an seemingly unstoppable enemy like appears, and he looks up at it, and just with the power of his look, sends it running for cover.
I think all that really was just the cat's adorable. Oh, I think that's all that is. And they trying to be funny here. I'm just gonna stop you in your tracks. Apparently, stopping your tracks so much it's making you cough. Okay, I guess with that, that's um, Dragon Ball Daima, interesting show. My goodness. I think I keep on hearing that it's 20 episodes, so like I think fine, I mean, maybe 10?
How many episodes are we on? We're on 8 right now. No, we're on 9 right now.
Daima?
Yeah, we're on episode 9, Thieves.
Okay, so we're almost at halfway. Okay. I keep on hearing there's supposed to be 20 episodes, so I don't know how. I guess we'll find out next week about what's going to happen after. But this episode was again another one of those. It was really good. Really enjoyed it. Highlights: Vegeta getting a chance to shine, even though this is like I gotta keep reminding myself that this is Vegeta before the power scale that gave him equal footing with Goku. But I'm actually kind of curious, considering because so I was watching other reviewers. 'Cause I like to like watch other reactors, you know, because like they bring up things I don't probably think about at the time as I'm watching it. They brought something interesting too about like with Vegeta's gang. Why did Bulma come along? She's probably like the least helpful character right now because Pansy's like gonna be the technician. They left Kibito back, and he's really useful. They bring it to the Piccolo brings it. Well, he could have brought him because he can teleport. That did just occur to me. I was like, why did Kibito stay behind? He shouldn't be needing to watch the lookout.
I know I know Panzer can make a tracker, but Bulma can make a dragon radar that can track no matter where they are.
But here's the thing: they already know where the Dragon Balls are. She doesn't really need to exist for that.
Right now, but we've already seen that they can be stolen.
Well, did she break the Dragon Radar? Can the Dragon Radar log onto the Dragon? Well, I guess there's no reason why they wouldn't be able to look at the Dragon Balls here. Where should Pansy come up with it? I mean, she just thinks about it because I mean, it didn't take Bumble long to come up with the Dragon Radar. Maybe Pansy can do the exact same thing. It seems kind of weird that if there was like a limitation, maybe they should have left Bulma behind just for her protection's sake.
Yeah,
Because like I mean, Bulma can't fly, she can't fight. It's pretty much going to cause Vegeta to have to like be hyper vigilant 24/7. I mean, not that he won't, not that he doesn't want to. It's just one of those situations where like I feel like you're kind of handicapping Vegeta in a situation I don't think he needs to be handicapped in right now. Because again, Vegeta isn't as powerful as he would be in Super. Um,
right.
unless and this is the thing. During the Battle of Gods, Vegeta got that power up when Bulma got slapped. Now, maybe they're gonna try something. Is the only thing I could think is that maybe they're gonna put Bulma in danger again, and it's just gonna cause him to get a temporary boost like he would normally get, but it won't be permanent because they need him to be at that level prior. Or maybe what they can do is they give him like a tiny boost from her getting in danger, and it's just enough for Vegeta to be able to save her. But it won't be on the same level as the boost he got after Bulma got slapped. Maybe I don't know. It's like I don't know. It seems like they're putting Bulma in unnecessary danger, and she doesn't really have any real. I'm not saying that she's useless 100%, but it's like I don't know if they really need to worry about the Dragon Radar right now. I mean, I don't think unless Majin Ku, which they also we could bring that up.
Majin Poo.
Majin who?
Did you say Majin Poo?
Majin Ku.
Majin Ku.
Yeah, that's what they called him. The guy with the Cyberman base seed thing. I still
I
kind
thought
of.
that was weird that they used a Cyberman as part of it.
I mean, besides that, what I find more interesting is that did you read what she was saying? It sounded like she created the Cyberman seeds.
She said she had a lot of them, enough where she could just kind of like give them away at one point, but it doesn't necessarily outright say that she created them.
Well, I guess another thing, does that mean Cybermen are demons?
They're men, Cybermen.
They got pointy ears and everything. I've always kind of been curious about where those came from because, like, I know Nappa brought up that he gotten some from somewhere. I forgot the exact wording Nappa used, but Nappa said he gotten them from somewhere.
Men can be born of trees in this anyway. We know the Kai's breed is.
Yeah, but I don't think that they're men. I think that's just the name of what they got, or I guess plant. I don't. They got pointy ears, and he said everything that has pointy ears comes from demon realm.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that it could be another tree-born species of men
Why are you so focused on the men part?
because they're Cybermen.
Either way, they're like really Cybermen are really weak. Though I wonder what that means for Majin Ku.
Cybermen are weak compared to the main characters of the show, but compared to an average character of the show, Cybermen are like mid.
No, like Nappa said that they are weak. Like they're not really powerful. Nappa literally said that. I these are details I'm remembering, but like I remember Nappa literally said that.
But each one was as strong as Raditz.
I don't think they said Red was weakest of the weak. No, he wasn't all that strong of a Saiyan.
They have a line that says that each of the Cybermen was as strong as Raditz. They even make fun of it in Team 4-Star.
Was that in the dub or was that in the sub?
Uh, I only watched Dragon Ball Z in the English dub.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up. I do remember that line, but it's like yeah, it sort of said that they were weakest of the weak. Like, that's why they were like made they were made specifically for that for cannon fodder. Unless Raditz is supposed to be cannon fodder, but
A quick random question for you. It's not on topic or anything. If you go to 602 and you watch the scene of the stealing of the Dragon Balls right until they show the light turn from the window turn on, and then what's his name with the gun um, looks out to see where the flying pterodactyl enemy look is going. Does his eyes flash red there for a second?
I feel like a lot of this is gonna go on Gloria. Is gonna be mostly just animation for that reason. That they might have just slipped up like they did last time. Um, so right when they steal the Dragon Ball,
He flies in, steals the Dragon Ball. Gloria takes out his gun, and then they show the room from the outside of the room, and the light turns on, and then he runs to the door window, and for a second when he's looking out, it looks like his eyes flash red. They probably didn't, but it looked like it for a second, so I was curious what you thought.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't see the red flash. Like maybe it could be mistaken. Like you talking about that exact frame where he was looking out the window after pterodactyl dude ran off.
Well, there's a bunch of frames, but it looked to me like 606, for example, when he's standing there, it looks like his eyes are a little bit reddish.
I
Right there.
I don't really. They appear yellow to me. It's not even me trying to be funny. Like, I really don't see. I've been staring at it. Let me move the microphone away from you real quick. I don't know. I feel like Glorio's drawn differently, and I don't mean like visually. I feel like whoever's drawing Glorio is using a different style or something. Cause like so far Glorio to me, and I'm not, and this is just like not even with the whole you seeing him have red eyes or whatever. Um, there've been various stills I've noticed that Glorio looks different than everybody else. Even like Pansy, who is a of the demon world, she doesn't really have these many. She's like Glorio looks different for some really strange reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just animation or something. Glorio's just drawn differently.
I just wanted to see if you thought he lost his cool too.
I'm pretty sure he lost his cool. He's been showing a lot more emotion, but I don't know really what ultimately what all that means. I think here, even with him losing his emotion here, even if his eyes did glow red for a split second, and you caught on to that, and I didn't, um, we'll see.
I just sent you a screen cap of the part that I'm looking at.
Yeah, they don't appear red to me. I saw the scene you're talking about, but they didn't even flash red. Not that I could see. Now, like again, I think you're trying to see if like there's more to his character, which I mean, I don't blame you. So far, he's
If
done
I
absolutely nothing to this point.
if I enlarge it to 700% and I can see the colors much more clearly, it's just yellow.
Okay, you
So
debunked
you're right.
yourself. I was willing to let that. I was willing to let that be a mystery for later.
Well, I'm
I mean,
glad I was able to take a screen cap of it because usually it seems like this doesn't let me do that.
I saw this exact scene, but even there, when I was looking at it, I couldn't see. I didn't even notice. I feel like his eyes glowing would be a noticeable thing, even if it was a quick second. I feel like everybody would have noticed it.
Yeah. Why are you following the forums that closely to see if people are noticing things?
I mean, if they noticed something and I didn't, they almost always say something about it during the reaction. So it's one of those things, like I don't have to be searching all that. Like they notice things that I don't even notice. They even ask questions that I honestly would think at the time, but didn't bother asking because I was too involved in the episode.
Yeah.
So I don't really watch them for that, but like I will say I'm using it now because like they noticed some things that I didn't. Even the Super Saiyan 2 thing, I didn't talk about that because I didn't notice it. Like I legitimately didn't notice it. Just until I went back and watched it in the reaction and saw the frame, I was like, "Oh, that is Super Saiyan 2. What?" I was like, and I first saw this information about there was being Super Saiyan 2 in that episode from an article after the episode aired. I saw like, there's no way he went Super Saiyan 2. I would have feel like I would have noticed that. Um, apparently I didn't, and there goes a situation I kind of don't like about Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. Um, and this is a tiny nitpick that is always existed in the show and has always been a problem. It can't be fixed. Uh, Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 don't look that much different visually. Unless there's lightning. And a lot of times the lightning situation that you brought up that he didn't have lightning around him, I feel like don't you think that lightning is very
Slow.
not slow, but like
Colorful.
it seems like whenever if like they pick and choose when lightning's gonna show up because with lightning, I'm becoming a little bit like iffy on lightning because Super Saiyan Bardock had lightning around him during his fight with Shield.
Hmm.
And a lot of people were on the assumption that Bardock went Super Saiyan 2. I don't think so. I don't know what that was, but like Bardock had lightning around him as a Super Saiyan. I don't even think Goku had lightning when he first went Super Saiyan. I could be completely wrong. I don't remember that scene that well. I mean, like, but that's such an iconic scene. I don't remember there being lightning around Goku. It's one of the weirdest things about the lightning around the Super Saiyan transformation is that ever since Bardock, because I knew this happened as soon as Bardock did it, when lightning appeared around Bardock, lightning has just been really weird and sporadic. I think it's where like it doesn't seem to have like a. It used to have a tell and it used to have like a logic to it. To me, now it doesn't anymore. It seems like whatever they want it to. I think even Vegeta. I don't even know what happened. Like what like. I don't know if Vegeta was Super Saiyan 2 in the Battle of the Gods thing when he powered up against Beerus. But he had lightning around that too, but I couldn't tell if he was Super Saiyan 2 or not because again, Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 don't look that much different. They really freaking don't. I mean, I'll fight people on this. I mean, Goku kind of does look different, but it's not that much of a difference. I mean, really, he got 4 bangs, now he's got 3. So what? I think Gohan's the only one who's had like a Kid Gohan's the only one who's actually had a visual difference to the forms because like his hair goes all the way up when he's in Super Saiyan 2. But
Yeah,
and then you got Saiyans like Bardock who they change drastically when they transform. Uh and like it's one of those I don't completely understand what's going on with the way these forms even like Future Trunks during the Future Trunks back when he was fighting against Cell. Difference you can definitely tell with the Super Saiyan transformation, it looked different. When he went Super Saiyan 2, it was different. He went Ultra Super Saiyan, it looked different. Uh, and then when he had that form that he obtained during the battle during Super when he fought Zamasu, like that was different. Um, and it had lightning too. I don't know. It just I don't understand what the lightning situation is about. It doesn't make sense to me. It's very inconsistent. Like
mm.
it used to be a long time ago on the forums, and this might just be a fan problem because I'm using information I learned over the years. This might be a fan problem where we all assumed that the lightning was meant to be a Super Saiyan 2 tell, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was a false thing that we all put in our heads a long time ago. I have no
They use
idea.
the lightning very inconsistently.
Huh?
They use the lightning very inconsistently, but like it's popular enough as an idea that like I think they should have kept it, even if it was like fan like emerged because of the fans' response to it. I think they should have kept it.
I mean, they kept the lightning because it's still in the show. It's just now it seems like I don't know. It's some forms that had it don't have it, and some forms that did have it didn't have it suddenly have it. I mean, Super Saiyan didn't have it at first, and all of a sudden Bardock goes Super Saiyan and he gets lightning. And I
But he
would
was like Super Saiyan Green or something. I mean, he was like, oh wait, Bardock.
yeah, I said Bardock,
Did
not Broly.
sorry.
Like Bardock got lightning, but I guess the other thing too, like
I assumed that Bardock went straight to Super Saiyan 2.
huh?
I had assumed that Bardock went straight to Super Saiyan 2.
Everybody did, but I don't know. I really don't know because the thing is, my biggest problem is, and I thought this a long time ago, but at the time I was a kid, it didn't really matter. It looked cool, but like Super Saiyan 1 and 2 don't look different. They don't look different enough.
Honestly, Bardock practically looks like Super Saiyan 3.
No, Super Saiyan 3 has long hair, and he didn't get that. Um,
Yeah, his hair didn't get that long. He didn't have that like Cro-Magnon skull either.
they didn't still Piccolo's look apparently. Uh, um, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of the things. Like, and honestly, I'm not too partial on Bardock and Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 1 debate, but I know it's out there because people are still fighting over the whole idea. Because like people would think that Bardock would look like Goku because pretty much he does look like Goku. Goku got his looks from him, so whatever Goku looks like, Bardock would look like, right? But I don't really know because like when he went Super Saiyan or 2, whatever, he had the headband on his head, the bloody rag from his friend that died. So
Yeah.
his hair was already up in the air as it was. So when he goes Super Saiyan, it probably wouldn't go up that much anyway. So I don't know what Bardock would have looked like as a Super Saiyan 2 if that's what actually happened because he had the lightning around him. I remember that was really what threw people off because of the lightning. It's like people when I think Bardock was the one that threw the question up in the air about the lightning bit. Was that actually a mandatory bit of Super Saiyan 2, or was that just something that we all thought was there because it was a new concept? I have no idea. And that really confuses me. And we're at like 5 minutes left over here. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I think like Diamond. I mean, besides the lightning bit from last episode that threw me off because I didn't expect it, I noticed that Goku was Super Saiyan 2 because he had 3 bangs hovering over his head. So that's when I noticed that he was a Super Saiyan 2. I didn't notice it at first. I don't know why I didn't notice it. I felt like that would have been noticeable to an extent, but who knows? Which would explain why when he went and nailed Tamagami in the stomach, Tamagami looked like he got hit by a brick or a steam train.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing, I was like, geez, he hit him really hard. Like, how fast he's coming at him? But apparently, no, that was just he was more powered up than he was when he first hit him with the Kamehameha. But really quick, Vegeta got some shine here. I'm surprised Vegeta didn't go Super Saiyan. They
I
should
like
have.
it when they give Vegeta a chance to be a badass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did it on purpose because they had to. Because apparently they lost their car. I do like how apparently that he just hit it somewhere. So it makes me wonder if maybe if Goku and the gang had just waited long enough to find the people who stole their car, maybe they could have found it nearby.
I wasn't even talking about the car scene. I was talking about the restaurant scene.
The rest of the scene was just funny to me because I felt like they were in a rave the entire time. Vegeta was just walking around with a tray.
I know, but like he puts it down so gently as he catches the guy's fist,
Yeah, I know. That was really. Oh,
and then every one of his moves they draw him so crisp that it's like ridiculous.
yeah, Vegeta. I will say this is the one thing I do love about Vegeta sometimes is that Vegeta said this when he was fighting Golden Frieza. The one thing about like the one thing different about him is the fact that he doesn't share Goku's um his his sensitivity to being nice or whatever. He doesn't share that. He's completely he's completely immune from being nice to people sometimes, like unless it's somebody he already knows or has a relationship with. For the
Yeah,
most part, he's going to be completely ruthless to you, and I love that about him a lot sometimes because it allows to show that if Goku had just been a little more sane, so many situations that he got into would probably be worked out a little bit more um faster than they are. But it's just funny that Vegeta, as you said, put down his tray and then caught the fist and started fighting them.
at the same time, not and then and caught the fist. He does them simultaneously.
Oh,
If anything, he puts the tray down slightly after he catches the fist.
I say Vegeta's really more tame than he used to be. I remember, like you remember when Vegeta first got to Earth, he was really just unhinged.
Oh, there was a time when he would have blown up the whole damn bar for their impudence or something.
He's so much more tame now. Like I don't know if that's Bulma or that's just Vegeta in general.
I
'Cause
think that's a
hmm?
I think that's his plot like arc.
Oh, I mean, I guess let's wrapping this up really quick here. I remember when Vegeta first spoke about like how Frieza, was a part of the reason why he's the way he is. I initially thought that he was lying. I was like, no, you're saying you'd be dismissed up. Goku's the only exception to the rule. But I look about it now, I'm like, no, he actually might have been right. And maybe if Vegeta had a chance to be a legitimately nice dude, maybe he wouldn't turn out the way he did. Maybe Frieza really is the reason behind everything. But then with that train of thought, I go further and say this is really Beerus's fault.
Yeah.
This is really Beerus's fault because Beerus sent Frieza after the Saiyans because, and I saw this somewhere. I'm not sure how true it is. Unfortunately, because Toriyama's gone, we will never know. But apparently, the reason why Beerus wanted the Saiyans killed was because he thought they were arrogant, and then apparently I think King Vegeta apparently touched a pillow of his or tried to take a pillow or get a pillow like the world's softest pillow and not tell Beerus about it. And Beerus did not like that.
Yeah.
Which is something. I mean, Beerus is that petty, so I mean, I would admit that that's something believable, but it's just funny to me. Like this, the Dragon Ball universe in general, these really powerful people are very simple sometimes. You notice that? You, you
Hmm.
expect these all high and mighty, like them being like, you refer to me as Lord. No, they're probably the most simple-minded people in the world. It's like, why is it that they're this simple-minded and yet there's so much power? That's dangerous. But I don't know. It's just one of these. But yeah, Vegeta got a chance to shine here in his first fight in the bar, and then the fight outside the bar when he was blowing out steam. I gotta point out, speaking of something, just being on Vegeta's side for a few minutes here because that doesn't get to happen a lot. I gotta admit, Goku and the gang showing up, with their plane just to tell Vegeta that he's gonna have to wait a little bit longer to get a ride was like the most messed up thing. I seriously expected Vegeta to jump on that plane. I literally expected him to do something. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know why he didn't. I guess that's just growth. But it's just. I literally said that Vegeta is not going to take this. Vegeta is not going to take this. He's going to blow that plane up. Something's going to happen. Nope, they got away. And Vegeta just sat there upset. Like, there is, like you
That
said
was
before,
okay.
there is a
That was about it. close to a bitch slap as Goku can do.
Like like you said before, there's a time Vegeta would have blown up the world for less.
Mm-hmm.
He literally let Goku get away. And yes, people, he let Goku get away. He could have stopped them. I just find that funny. Like, why did Vegeta do that? Like, he could have done so many things like to stop them from moving. And on top of that, they could fly. As you said before, they're really acclimated to the world. I don't know why they just didn't start flying. I mean, I know Bulma can't fly, but
Neither can that pilot dude.
can he not?
Not that we've seen. He walks around pretty slowly, and he looks like he's not like the type that could fly.
Yeah, I guess we can end on this a little bit too. Pretty much there's a point in the episode where, well, Majin Ku, but I don't know there's really much to say about him yet, but there's a bit with Goma and and Dagasu, uh, and Dagasu's informing Goma about what's been going on in Demon World. Apparently, he hasn't been doing a good job at letting him know what's been going on. I haven't expected Goma to know what's going on, at least by the Dragon Ball, but apparently he didn't. Uh, I find it funny that that happened, but then Goma brings the fact. He really wishes that he had wished for the third eye. Somebody who was watching brought up an interesting point, and it was more of a side note because they didn't really touch on it too much. Was that belt that dude's got on his waist, the guy who's the pilot, could that be the third eye that was lost?
It could be, or it could just be some weird thing that lived in the woods.
I guess. Well, didn't you say he was just walking around the woods and he found it?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I think it's that simple.
Could that really be the third eye? I mean, there's nothing saying it couldn't or could not, right? And Dragon Ball is kind of stupid with that, because sometimes there's just really powerful artifact just lying around for no good reason. I mean, the Dragon Balls are a perfect example of this. Dragon
Oh, I see
Balls,
what you mean. Is that the third eye, the demon
yes, is
third
that the
eye?
third eye, the thing that was lost? Because Goma said that it was lost.
That's gonna be so fucking funny if it is.
I'm like, because my brother too was like, that's probably the third eye, isn't it? Yeah, it probably is. I was like, I said it sat there because it didn't. When I was watching the episode, it didn't. Nothing crossed my mind about that. But then he's brought it up in the reaction. I just sat there like, there's no way that's the third eye. Are you kidding me? Now I'm starting to think that it might be the third eye. And if it's been in the zombie forest the entire time, I know Goma's gonna be so upset. He's probably been in there one time looking for it. He's like, how did I step over that? The thing moves around and everything. Um, I mean, probably I'm gonna go 50-50. That maybe be the evil eye, the evil third eye. Um,
It's an eye from the race of Tien.
I actually thought about that too when I started moving. I was like, Tien? I was like, I literally thought that. I was like, I really thought about Tien the moment I saw that. I was like, at first I thought maybe that was him. I was like, there's another three-eyed race of people. What the heck?
Well, Tien has curved ears, so I think we're safe.
Unless those aren't real.
They pop out for the first time ever. Gasp.
He's just like, blink. Tien, why do you have pointy ears? Oh shoot, I thought I was hiding those. But I guess that in there, that was a good episode. I guess I could see Majin Q. Not really much has been said about him or done. I mean, he's gonna go after the one star ball in the first demon realm. So I'm guessing we're gonna find out either Majin Q is a failure or really freaking strong.
Really freaking.
I'm 50-50 on what I want that to be. I mean, granted, he sounds intelligent. So my brother, the fact that he sounds a little bit like Frieza, which scares me because it's like if he sounds a little bit like Frieza, that's not good.
When I first saw what he looked like, I was thinking Cell for a second, but then it didn't. Then it went away.
He still have a little bit of Cell in him. You never know. Um, I don't know how, but you never know.
When they were showing the pieces of him, and the mask and everything, like it just felt like Cell for a second, but then I don't know, his face and the final product kind of took it away from me.
He might.
I'm sure that he'll change form like 5 times, and what he's looking like right now is just a crude early form of what he'll end up being.
I guess we'll see. I mean, they use the Cyberman thing as a base, is what they did. So there's a chance that, as you said before, he'll change form again.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll change form that much. I'm half expecting that what's gonna really happen is Majin Ku's gonna get away. Uh, he's not gonna listen to an Arisa after a certain point. He's gonna get away, and maybe he's gonna be the villain that's gonna show up later on if they're gonna continue
Final
Dragon Ball
villain of this
Super.
short He's the final villain of this short series for sure.
He might get away. I don't know. It really depends.
They don't
Like
have time to set up a new villain. This is the final one for 20 episodes. They just
I'm talking about setting up for Dragon Ball Super because like I mean just if they're gonna continue
oh,
past Super, like they might let him get away and like he just shows up again.
yeah,
I mean
that would be kind of cool to bring him back.
if that's what because I feel like I don't think Goku and the gang are at a strength power level. If this is Boo, because they took the pieces of Boo before he separated into good Boo and bad Boo. This is Boo before that happened. So like uh like I'm not sure how strong Fat Boo was, but if they're using that as a base and he's supposed to be stronger anyway, uh there's a good chance based on the fact that people are saying he sounds like the Japanese his voice actor sounds like Frieza, which is kind of funny. Uh if he does have a personality like Frieza, that'd be hilarious. But maybe not, who knows? I mean I'm not as sick and tired of Frieza as everybody else seems to be. But but it'd be really weird. I don't know. He sounds intelligent when he said understood, but that might just be his voice. But he sounded a little bit more intelligent than I wanted him to be because Kid Buu was like unrestrained evil. Fat Buu was restrained cute evil. If that's a phrase, but yeah, crap. Okay, so with that, we're gonna end the episode here. I guess next episode's gonna be Majin Ku versus the number one Tamagami. Uh,
Yeah.
At least I think. I don't know. Well, this is what I think we're gonna do. They got 3 story arcs playing out here. So we'll see what happens. See you guys next week. Good night.
See you guys.